Well, hello everyone, and I just wanted to talk about Star Citizen some. And the big exciting new thing to talk about right now is the RSI Galaxy. So we're going to take the next 5 to 10 minutes just to talk about the RSI Galaxy. So if your head has been under a rock, or you're new here, or I don't know, you've been on holiday, some reason you don't know what the RSI Galaxy is, let me just give you a quick, brief explanation. Then we'll go through into the detailed explanation, and we'll just talk about it as we go. So we'll start off with a brief, quick description of what the RSI Galaxy is. The RSI Galaxy is the big brother to the Constellation. And I kind of see the opposite thing has happened here. And we're going to go off on a tangent for just 2 seconds. The game has grown a lot since the Constellation was originally envisioned. And something similar has happened, I think has happened to the Banu Merchantmen. Whereas you had the original ships, which was the Banu Merchantmen and the Constellation. And the game has grown a lot since they were originally envisioned and fought about and stuff like that. And the Banu Merchantmen grew with the game. Whereas the Constellation was already in-game and had its models and stuff like that. So it stayed the same size, but the game has grown. So this is the ship to take its place. Whereas the Banu Merchantman got the Xi'an Raylan, I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce it, to be the old role. So if you imagine, you had Banu Merchantman, Constellation, game grows, the Merchantman grew with it, Constellation didn't, and now we need ships in these other areas. We've got the Raylan, no, that'll be the Raylan, and now we've got the Galaxy. So we bit of tangent. I've obviously got no evidence to back that up, but that's what I think has happened here. Back to then talking about the Galaxy, and what we do definitely know about. So it's the big brother to the Constellation, and everyone in the kitchen sink is comparing it to the Carrack, which, if you ask me, I think you're doing both ships a bit of a disservice there. They have very different roles. The Carrack is actually a capital ship, where this one isn't. I think the Carrack is capital, isn't it? Or is it sub-capital? I think it's capital. Don't quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure. But the Carrack is a lot bigger. It's got a lot of stuff this ship doesn't have, like its repair drones, its exploration features, like the map surveying room. It's got a medical bay by default, so it's not having to change stuff out. It's always going to have that medical bay. And I can't remember off the top of my head the firepower, but the firepower in both these ships isn't anything to write home about. It's more self-defense than offense. So yeah, the Carrack has a lot of stuff going for it that this ship doesn't. But this is, again, you're doing both ships a disservice when you compare the two, because this ship is much smaller and in a different role. The Carrack, very much exploration, getting to stay out there for as long as it wants. This ship, much more multi-role. You're going to tailor it to whatever job you want to do on the day. And it's obviously quite a bit smaller. And I think because people compare it to the Carrack, which is why everyone was so shocked about its price. But you want to know the ship I was comparing it to? When I first seen all the information, when I first started reading about it, I didn't start comparing it to the Carrack instantly. I started comparing it to the Caterpillar instantly. I was like, this ship is basically RSI's Caterpillar with a bit more luxury, here, there, and everywhere. You could argue that this is sort of the middle point between the Caterpillar and the Carrack, but that's not a linear road. That's going like side grades and then upgrades. It's not as simple as going like hull A, B, C, D. That's like going hull A, I don't know, Avenger, Titan, Gladius, then hull D. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a linear path there if you're that, but it's sort of like the middle point between a Carrack and a Caterpillar. And the reason I thought it was a Caterpillar almost straight away was similar size of ship. This is slightly bigger, slightly more crew. And it has one really large modular room instead of, I think it's 4 smaller modular rooms on the Caterpillar. Don't quote me on the 4. It might be 5. I think it's 4. I need a drink. So yeah, right from the get-go, I disagree with everyone saying this is a new RSI Carrack, as this is an RSI Caterpillar to me. It's meant to be a big brother to the Constellation, but to me it's a Caterpillar. It's RSI Caterpillar. Yeah. So let's take a wee bit more look at the details. We've talked about how it's a sort of jack of all trades, master of none. It's slightly low on the firepower. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Slightly low on the firepower for its size, but as I said, it's not meant to be getting into a fight. Its armaments are just self-defense. So let's take a look down, and we'll come down and take us to the modules. My recommendation is do not go anywhere near these with a barge pole with real money. Side note, $380 is the base, and then you can get modules and stuff, and it goes up to like 500 odd if you get the master set with all the modules, which really bad investment in my opinion. Like, you could spend your Wonga elsewhere in the game if you want to help finance the game, but I just think it's really bad bang for buck. Really bad bang for buck. If you want it, I'm not saying don't. If you really, really want it, I'm not telling you not to. I'm advising elsewhere. But again, if you really want it, you know you best. You go buy them, but I don't advise it because they're going to be really cheap to get these modules in the game. The cargo one, you're probably going to get free as default anyway. You can't quote me on that. Can't, I said, not can. But that's the way it works with every other ship that we've seen so far. The Caterpillar, you get the cargo once free by default. The Carrack, you get the cargo once free by default. So yes, I don't know. It's weird that we see this popping up here. It caught me off guard. Maybe they're taking a step away from that. Maybe you're just going to get an empty void where that's cargo bay is meant to be until you buy it in game and slot it in. It is possible to do that, but it just seems weird. I'm still leaning on the side of you're probably going to get this one free, so you're just literally really wasting money on this one. But again, you can't quote me on that. But that's cargo. It takes it from, I think it's 62 cargo units by default up to just under 600, I think. I think it's just under 600 because I think it's 512 you get in this cargo bay, and I think it's 62 by default. Again, don't quote me on those numbers, but that is roughly accurate. It's the right ballpark. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly. Then medical bay. Well, you know what? We could expand these as well. Should have been expanding these. You can get a better view of them, the concepts of them. Right, the medical bay. Which actually as well, before we do this, is there... Like, I wish they'd shown, where is it? Is there a cutout for the whole ship? If there is, there's not there. There is cutouts for the whole ship. Where are they? So we can show you where they are. Come on. There is somewhere. I don't know if it's... Is it not on this page at all? Great, it's not on this page at all. I will find them, and I will put it on screen somewhere for you in post. So you can actually see where the location, the layout of the ship. I'll put it on somewhere and let you have a look at that. I'll probably cover up me searching or something for that. But yeah, let's now go in and start talking about the med bay. So as you can see here from the med bay for that square, hopefully I remember to put in, you can see before, most people are assuming pretty much that these are 3 of the worst beds, these are 2 of the medium beds, and here is one of the best. Now, I always get this the wrong way around, because to me it works counter to the way it should be. Tier 1 is the really good bed, right? Tier 2 is the in the middle bed, and Tier 3 is the just basically keeping you alive, kind of just and no more. So these worst ones, which I think are Tier 3, I always get it the wrong way around, and I think I'm getting it right this time because I remembered to think about it. But to me, intuitively, you'd think Tier 1 is the crappy basic one. You'd think Tier 2 is the slightly improved, and then Tier 3 the best, but it works back to front, I think. So here we are, here with these. We're just going to say Tier 3s for now. I might be wrong. We'll just say the worst ones, actually, to be safe than sorry. They're going to be able to heal minor injuries and keep you just alive, like, so you can get some better medical treatment if needed. And then moving up, these ones will be able to heal slightly harder injuries, and then this one will be able to heal absolutely everything, as long as you're just not dead before you're on it. And then these ones should be able to keep you alive for that. So it's going to have all 3 types of beds, so you're going to have the full healing powers of any hospital anywhere, but only one at a time. But you will have all these other ones to keep people alive. This is perfect. What you need is a little hospital. It is going to be great for people that want to go around and do some combat, and then have some place for people to respawn and stay safe. It is, it's going to be perfect for people wanting to do some ground combat. That is, it's going to be able to do everything, because you're going to have all the types of beds and plenty of them. But these beds aren't confirmed. This is just when everyone's looking at it. They're saying obviously there's 3 different types, and they're saying they do seem to get less each time they go up. So yeah. And that's probably a little storage area. But yeah, medical, medbay. And then the last confirmed one is a refinery. Oh, I should point out as well that you'll notice that this area here in all 3 of them is like a little elevator. So for the cargo, get your cargo on and off with the elevator. The medbay, you rush people in and out fast to the hospital as soon as possible. Quick elevator. Then the refinery, you'll notice it's gone, and instead it's got these like little bits that come out and grab saddlebags. So this will be great teamed up with a prospector, though a lot of people are actually a wee bit peeved at the moment because of the hangar. We'll talk about that when we get to the hangar. These will be great for teaming up with a prospector. The prospector does the mining. This thing swoops in. The prospector unloads its saddlebags. You can drop off some more saddlebags from your storage, and then take the prospector's saddlebags and start refining it. And if you then jump to your next buddy, so maybe you've got 4 or 5 buddies with prospectors out there mining, and you're just jumping between them, gathering the stuff and refining it, and then with your bigger storage, taking it back to base. So you're the ship going here, there, and everyone. You're the middleman. And you're refining it, so then you can get a better amount of Wonga as well, and it takes up less storage space when it's refined. And if it's stuff like Contanium, it'll no longer be dangerous once you get it in your refineries, so that it'll make it safer for the prospectors too, and they don't need to worry about that danger and getting it safely back somewhere that can make it safe. You can make it safe for them. So it will be really great teamed up with prospectors, moles, anything like that that's not big enough to refine itself, but still wants to have that efficiency of mining it yourself, cutting out the middleman of the refineries, and just that extra convenience of not having to go back, because time is money when you're doing stuff like mining. And yeah, any little savings you can make in time here, there, or anywhere by the prospector not moving away from the mining fields will be a godsend for miners, so they'll be able to make so much money faster. Right. And others. There is going to be others, but we don't know what they are. So, that is the main feel and vibe of the ship. We'll go into a few other little nitty... Well, I suppose we'll get the other little nitty things out of the way. There's 3 turrets. We've got the hangar. We'll talk about the hangar too. Yeah, the 3 turrets. There's 2 there. You can see there's one underneath. Do we get a picture of the underneath hangar somewhere? You can see it firing there. Nope. Come on. Okay, there we go. You can see there's the last turret. There you can see what I was talking about earlier on, about how sucking out the... There's a tractor beam there, you can see as well, sucking out the saddlebags from the prospector. You can see it's teamed up with 2 prospectors here, so they're mining, unloading straight to him. Plus, this guy's that big and has that much firepower compared to a prospector. He will be keeping them safe from lighter pirates. Like, so they're not as vulnerable out here when they've got this big bad boy watching their back, but it's not much of a big bad boy when it comes to stuff its size and bigger. So it's really just protecting them from stuff their size and smaller. And as long as there's not a lot of them. But yeah, on each turret, they are remote turrets. So as you can see, you're not getting inside them. You'll be controlling them from a console somewhere inside the ship. And it is 2 size 5s on each turret. So that is 6 size 5s. So as long as you've got all of them on a target, that's a lot of firepower. Or if it's just little fighters buzzing around you, that's 2 size 5s. If you get some pew-pews on there, not cannons, some spray and pray, that is going to be some very good fighter deterrent for anything smaller than this ship. Though, as soon as the numbers of fighters start getting up there, you're going to be a wee bit worried. Because, again, free. And also, anyone hugging your ass, as you can see, the ass is going to be a very vulnerable point for this ship. Because you've got this turret here, can fire directly behind, but not at an angle. Fire directly behind, but not at an angle. Can't shoot behind at all, really, this one here. So yeah, if anything close enough to your ass, that is going to be a blind spot for these turrets. So if you're going to have to coordinate with the pilot to try and stop people from getting to your ass and protect your ass, maybe. A really skilled pilot, if he can get close enough, well, you're not going to be able to hit him, so you're going to be relying on your shields and armor to keep you safe until you can find something to maneuver around that he can't maneuver. You're just not going to be able to get him, actually, no. Now, I'm trying to think what you could do in that situation if there was a really skilled pilot that was staying really closely tight to your ass. Yeah. I was like, maybe pivot. No, I can't think of anything. But yeah, if you coordinate with your pilot, that should be really hard for a pilot to stay there, so it would take someone skilled. But again, this is all just theorycraft, and we're going to need to wait and see, and we need to get in our hands. Right, where's the hangar? Right, the hangar. Talking about its ass needing protection, the hangar is an extra small hangar. Now, there was a wee bit of a kerfuffle with this, as we said we were going to talk about this earlier. Originally, it just said it was a small hangar on the ship's page. But it's actually, as you can see, anyone looking at this picture would probably mean like, there's no way that the hangar's that big. It's extra small. The Pisces fits in it, as you see here, relatively easies. I can't even talk. And there was another picture somewhere. There you go. As you can see, the MPUV personnel. That's the personnel one, not the cargo. I was like, what's the shape here? And then I was like, oh yeah, those doors, that's definitely the personnel one. So those will easily be able to fit into it. This door here links to that square we were talking about before that is interchangeable. So this is the hangar here that's right off the back of it. Hopefully I'll remember to put that somewhere up on the screen. I was doing it on this screen. I realised you just can't see that somewhere. I'll maybe try and stick it somewhere up like here. There's some dead space where you can see you've got the hallways and then the square that changes in behind those doors, and then this is the hangar right at the back. So this could, if you're worried about coming under attack, I'd imagine you'd be able to fit a Scorpius in there. I think it would be snug. But it looks like the Scorpius folded up is about the same size as a Pisces, isn't it? So, and it looks like there's the length. So probably get a Scorpius in there, but you could definitely fit an arrow or something like that. So you can definitely, if you're worried about people on your backside, and you can see a bit better here, what I was meaning is like someone's hugging your ass, this turret shoots backwards. Actually, there is a bit of a curve here. I did not realise there was a bit of a curve here, and this was on the point. This might actually be able to shoot straight back. I might be talking about my ass, because he might need to be that close, and he's not no skilled pilot even that close. It's going to be a wait and see, I think. But if it is something you're worried about, you could stick a fighter in there. Open up the doors, fighter just fires straight out, but more likely you're taking off beforehand and then flying around, and the fighter can then cover your backside. Then if that's still not enough coverage of your backside, yeah, you're going to need a lot more firepower, and your problem's not this ship. Yeah, you've got bigger problems. You're needing a much more combat-orientated ship. If you're still in problems, you shouldn't be looking at this ship at that point. Yeah. Yeah. Ah! I forgot to even mention the reason we were coming back to talk about that hangar. I mentioned it earlier, and I had to bring it up, was with the larger hangar they did originally advertise. So we're sort of talking in circles here, forget about it, coming back to it, forget about it, coming back to it. But I'm rambling. This is an unscripted, I just wanted to talk episode. The hangar, when the larger size they did originally specify, a lot of people were going to like pair this up with a prospector in their hangar. They could then go out and mine, come back and land, and get the refine it, go back as it's refining, they go back out, mine again, come back, and they were going to play it solo, that sort of way. But with the smaller hangar, like if you were looking at this picture, you'd have been able to say easily, there's no way a prospector is going to fit in there. But on the site, it did say that the hangar was the size that a prospector would fit in. So that's got a lot of people peeved, and quite rightly so. It was a mistake. If they'd... The reason they pledged for the ship is they read that the hangar size was going to be just small, not extra small. And we're like, oh, prospector's fitting in there, great, this is perfect. Then, yeah, I could understand their confusion. And, yeah, but yeah, there's look at that, there's no way. They're quite rightly angry, but there's just no way. It's extra small. And then they did come back and confirm it is extra small. So you're not going to be fitting a prospector in here. Right. Is there anything else I want to discuss? Just look at this, look at this. Look at that! Extortion! That's the modules, why? Why would you ever buy them? Like, get them if you really want them, but again, to me, I'm just like, ugh, why? Go away. No. So yes, this has been a very rambly video. I should call this the Galaxy Rambles or something, because it's not really an information like my normal ones. It's just been me turning the camera on and just opening my mouth and letting my belly rumble. I just wanted to talk about it. And a lot of the times when I'm doing these discussion videos, that's my motivation. I just want to talk about them. And if anyone else just likes talking about them, definitely start leaving comments down below and I'll reply to them talking. Talking Star Citizen is one of my favourite pastimes. So yes, if you want to see more just rambles, give this all a thumbs up and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to ramble. Hope you've all enjoyed this. I'll ramble again next time. Bye-bye.